our log line, see if I can do it. The other client list is a comedic web series about two women with opposite personalities who transform their lives by opening their own fitness studio.
Oh, I wonder what goes on in the fitness studio.
Oh, crazy things. You know, when you make any sort of choice in life in general, I feel like you lose a lot of doors close and a lot of doors open. And so we try and have, an honest view at it, but also kind of a funny one. We hope it's funny.
So how did you come up with the idea? Because now you wrote the script, and the birth of that came from what point?
Well, I knew we wanted to do a web series together. We had kept in touch from a groundlings class, so I knew it was comedic because I'm comedic. But I thought to myself, what do we have in common? So I went to Mel's Diner and I just did a whole list of things we had in common.
And who's the we?
Me, and I sat down by myself on my laptop. And what I had in common with Arye, because we talked about doing a series. So I thought, well, we have fitness in common. And then I extrapolated two versions of my personality, the anal retentive one that is very, very business, and then the one that gets along really friendly with people. And I just created two different characters with that, and those are the opposite personalities. So a lot of what you see in terms of the characters not getting along happens in my head on a daily basis. Well, I was lucky that we had a wonderful director on board, Erik Boccio, and so he was a great eye on it. So I got to, on set, chill out a little bit, unless someone wasn't saying their lines right, the lines that I worked so carefully to write. And then I was in writer mode of okay, one of us spent hours alone writing this perfect line. But it's fun to, I think with anything, you can't wear three hats at once. So if I'm not in the scene and I trust Erik that the scene will happen, then I just chill out. It's not my job to direct it. But while I'm in it, I get to be the actress, and I don't have to analyze my words because, I did it already. It's a different hat. So
comedy is so difficult. People think it's so easy. So when you are deciding on a scene, are you playing it to the audience? Are you playing it to yourself? And what is a technique that you use to incorporate your character into the scene?
Into the scene to make it more comedic? I think in life I'm a little bit of a character. So I feel like, when the camera's rolling, to ramp it up a little bit. But for the most part, I just do what would make me laugh or what feels the truth. That's the biggest thing with comedy is people try and play it untrue. They try and be like, I'm doing comedy now, yuck, yuck. And it immediately, right, when you can see the smirk on someone's face, you're just like, no, thank you. But I like to play it like this is really what's happening to the person. This is really what they're going through. This is truly what they're feeling. And then, ramp it up a little bit because it is still comedy. We don't need to have a melodramatic moment. You can have a melodramatic, funny moment with an over-exaggerated face.
What's the one trait that's more like you that you play, and what's the one trait that's unlike you that you play?
So, because the two characters are so separate, they're both the anal retentive me. In this series, my character is very ditzy and bad with money. So I don't always understand what's going on, and I want to just constantly give away my money. That's not like me in real life. Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, even big words or monologues, my character doesn't quite get. But and then what was the other? What's most unlike me? Oh gosh, she's very likable, and I would like to be as likable as she is. My best friend is a little bit closer to that kind of personality where people are just magnetized to her. I can get that a little bit, but not quite as much as this girl. She just has people coming out of the woodwork to help her. And I love this. Okay, so just do it. Just do it. I think so many people, and I am a big proponent in this. I do a podcast on productivity and also just happiness in general, it's okay to be funny and be happy. But I think so many people get stuck in their head and they think it's got to be perfect, and they think that, it's got to be something that's intangible, and then they're just stuck in that limbo. And then when they get started, they see all the challenges faced ahead, and it's just do one thing at a time, just figure out how to write it, get it written, then worry about finding the next step. Midway through our series, we didn't even know how we were going to edit it. We didn't have an editor. Okay, we were already shooting, filming, no editor. And I just kind of reached out to an old friend of mine, and he was absolutely on board. He did a phenomenal job. So it's you just figure it out as you go.
So just get it done.
Just do it and don't judge yourself. Even tonight, to be honest, I'm a little anxious because this was written so long ago and it's been in post for so long. I feel like I've improved as a performer and definitely as a writer. So there's this me present that it's very anxious, like, oh God, I didn't do that performance well. I could do it better now. But I just say to myself, you know what? I did the best I could with what I had at the time and just let it be what it is.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
I've always wanted to have a project with comedy. I unfortunately haven't had a lot of chance to work in a lot of comedy yet, and that's kind of where my heart lands. And when I met Briana, and we kind of threw two things that we love, which is comedy and fitness, and we're like, you know what, let's make this happen. So it's two things that we love combined into one, and it's like it's like a perfect peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I was asking Briana for the character she plays. How much like are you the character that you're playing, and how much unlike are you that character that you play? The two things.
It's half and half. I mean, my character is not very nice and not very likable. People don't really like her because she's kind of an outcast. So that aspect, I don't think I'm like that. I hope not. But she's very business. Actually, we had the same career, unfortunately. I shouldn't say career. She's a financial advisor. I'm also a financial advisor besides an actress. So in that aspect, we have something in common. Obviously, she absolutely hates her job. She's a lot more miserable than I am. So we're different in that. But overall, it's just personality based. She's much drier. She's much not as friendly, not as outgoing, and not as bubbly as I am. But still, she gets things done. And I think that's what we have in common. I get things done.
What's the hardest thing about doing comedy?
Being funny. I mean, I can't even put it into words because humor is different in people's brains. And my kind of humor and someone else's humor is completely different. And so to make something funny that will reach across different people and different cultures is very hard. And that's, I think, the hardest part, is to be funny. Because I can be funny and I think I'm funny. My husband thinks I'm funny, but that doesn't mean the whole world's going to think we're funny. So that's definitely the toughest part.
When you were doing that, did you think about, okay, I mean, not that you wanted to be like someone else, but did you have a certain actress in mind comedically that you admired? And you thought, oh, I kind of like her sensibility, maybe I could throw a bit of that in there. Did it ever come into your mind to think like that at all?
Absolutely. I mean, I love Tina Fey, and I absolutely adore her. And obviously my characters, I like her because she's still that natural comedy, and she's subtle, and she's not extremely goofy, except for SNL. But most of the movies that she does, she's very subtle and serious at sometimes, but still funny, So I think, if anything, I kind of inspired myself towards that, so that I can still be the businesswoman, but still be funny and still, have people laugh and at the end love Anne, because she's a lovable character. It's just you got to get used to her at first.
Are you excited?
I'm ecstatic. I can't stop smiling. Do you see me? I can't stop smiling.
You're making me smile.
Yes, I can't wait till everyone sees it, and I hope that it brings a smile to you guys' face. So hopefully you'll laugh.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.